김민선이 역대급 속도로 빙상 위를 질주하고 있습니다. 최근 스피드 스케이팅 선수권 대회에서 여자 500m 결승에 출전한 김민선은 38.41초의 기록으로 1위를 차지하며 대기록을 써내려가고 있는데요. 지난해 4대륙 선수권 대회에서 4관왕에 오른 것도 모자라 동계 유니버시아드 대회에서도 마찬가지로 금메달을 목에 걸었습니다. 현재 김민선을 능가할 선수가 나타나지 않자 일본은 혼성계주에서 김민선을 이기겠다며 호언장담했는데요. 하지만 김민선은 자신의 주종목이 아님에도 미친 듯한 스피드를 내뿜었습니다. 지금부터 스피드 스케이팅 혼성계주 결승전을 함께 보시겠습니다.
Korea line up with Kim Min-sun and Ahn Hyun-jun.
Representing the Republic of Korea, Kim Min-sun.
The athlete coming in can come from the inside track, the warm-up track as it's known. They then have to make contact in the home straight. So clean start to heat number one of the mixed team relay. Kim leading from Merckx, and Sagenda, a very clear lead for Kim coming out of the top bend. So now we're going to see the transition. There is Ahn coming into the track at the apex, and Kim gives him a push, and off he goes.
Like all teams are clean in their passes. And now the men will skate
So Ahn Hyun-jun out to set the best time he can over 2 laps. And he's followed by Beshi from Hungary, Malset from Norway coming up the rear in 3rd.
Team from Hungary and in 3rd is team from Norway.
35-meter lead for Ahn, setting the pace here in this first heat.
Good exchange by the team from Korea.
So the Koreans have already done their transition, and Kim Min-sun leading. Abigail Merckx in 2nd gets a push from Balash Beshi. Kim will complete 2 laps.
Very little or not at all this event, so it's a little bit of a challenge and trial and error. Team from
Often Sagenda way back 110 meters down from the leader here, Kim Min-sun, representing the Republic of Korea.
So now the women will go 2
Into the
laps,
back straight now.
and the men meet them up for that final finish.
The Hungarians staying within visual range, but Korea making their last transition. They don't practice these transitions very much. This is the newest of disciplines, and you can see there that Ahn just had to slow up a little bit to get the push off, which has to happen before the straight is complete. And Ahn Hyun-jun powering through this final lap.
We'll watch that time for the team from Korea.
Final transition made for Norway, and they get the belt. They are now 200 meters down on the time being set, and how quick will this be for Korea? Here comes Ahn Hyun-jun to cross the line, set the benchmark time, and it does so with a 3:10.85.
For the team from the Republic of Korea, Hungary at 3:16.40.
So 3:10.85 the time to beat. Hungary crossing the line just under 6 seconds behind, and Norway now crossed the line, and look at that, 20-odd seconds behind the Republic of Korea. So Kim Min-sun and Ahn Hyun-jun have set the benchmark time. We've got 2 more heats to go here. And here we take a look back at the first changeover. Ahn looking behind, and that is a good one from Korea. The last one wasn't quite so neat. But time set of 3:10.84 by the Republic of Korea. 6 more pairs to come out in 2 more heats.
And William Gilbauer.
She goes up against Takahashi Yuka. So we're underway in the second heat of the mixed team relay. Japan, USA and Canada. And it's Anna Quinn of the USA who crosses the 100-meter line in the lead. Much closer race here though. And Japan's Yuka Takahashi coming up the inside. It's a little bit messy around the top end. The transitions are going to be very difficult. Japan's athlete, male athlete, has gone out, Kasahara Kotaro, and just about gets the push at the right time, but look how close they are. USA with William Gabauer and Canada with Frank Roth in second and third, hot on the heels of Takahashi Yuka. Well, benefiting for a bit of drafting here, the American and the Canadian. All the work being done by Takahashi at the front. And, Japan and the USA are inside the time. The Canadian Frank Roth has to push a little bit harder here, trying to come out and go around the outside to cut back in. The transition's happening again, and a push happening, or it's a pull really from the Canadians, who have pushed themselves up into second place. The USA up into first, and there was a big mess up between the Japanese athletes on the transition, and it's Canada now leading. Annalise Bourgeois, but they're still pretty close. A little bit of a gap for Annalise Bourgeois from Anna Quinn, and now it's Takahashi Yuka who's pushed herself back up into second position and trying to stay right behind the Canadian. Letting the Canadian do the work to break a hole in the air, but now you can see Takahashi trying her hardest to get around the outside, needs to position herself well for the transition. Canada leading from Japan here, but it's all about the time.
Canadian team having to work around
Canada, not the neatest of transitions. The Japanese athlete has got a little bit more momentum, but perhaps just a tiny bit blocked off there, all within the rules. But it is now Kasahara pushing around the outside, going the long way round. They've got to increase their time in this final lap because they're behind both Korea, Hungary, and in fact Norway as well, who went out in the first group. And now Takahashi pressing the booster button, is leading from the Canadian. Frank Roth crosses the line, and a time of 3:12.05, good enough for second place provisionally for Japan, and Canada's time of 3:12.88, enough for third. They did that, 3. And the transitions were far from neat, that's for sure. A tap of the hand in the end for Japan. And a pull there from the Canadian. That was the first. Korea have set a time of 3:10.84, sitting top of the pile from Japan and Canada. That was far from clean. He's teamed up with Takahashi Yuka, Japan collecting silver. But this pair went out first in the first heat, and they were neat and tidy throughout, leading from the start. It's the Republic of Korea